Earn, save, and then spend. Do not earn, spend, and then save. That, you guys, is how you get rich. Hey guys, in this video, we are going over 6 effective and superior ways to cut your spending. The easiest way to make more money is to save more money. So I'll share with you guys how I am able to save a huge percentage of my income and as a result, increase my net worth. I promise you, these are all actionable things that you can start doing today or tomorrow. So let's get started. Number 1 is to adopt a frugal mindset. And the reason why I'm starting with this is because it's so important. If you have a frugal mindset, everything else on this list is going to be much easier to implement. First, we have to talk about the opportunity cost of money. You have to ask yourself, is there anything else I can be spending my money on that's going to give me more value in return? If you go into all your purchases with this type of mindset, then suddenly everything is going to be competing for your money. And when other things are competing for your money, that means you are more in control of your spending. And with this extra control comes the ability and opportunity to make smarter financial decisions. Okay, here's one thing that I really like doing that will give you a perspective on spending and earning money. For every $1 that I earn, I like to think about it as making $1. Makes sense, right? But for every $1 that I spend, I like to think of it as spending $10. If you think of it like this, then every dollar you're spending, you're gonna really scrutinize because you're gonna think of it as $10. It also puts more stress and more importance on the spending versus the earning. So if you wanna be more frugal, if you wanna be smarter with your spending, I find that this perspective has really helped me. Now, if you also wanna have a better perspective on earning more money, then you can think of it like this. Every $1,000 that you make, you count as 1 unit. So if you make $7,000, that means you made 7. I find that removing the 1,000 after the number sort of helps you put things into perspective and makes you not get too excited with making money. As a result, you won't be content making $5,000 because in your mind, it's only 5. You can do other variations, like it doesn't have to be $1,000 to 1. It can also be $100 to 1. So like if you make $500, then that means you made 5. Some of you guys might think this is kind of weird, but try it out and see how it works. Now, going back to the opportunity cost. Right now, what you can do is think of all your purchases as money that could have been spent on investment. For example, if you spend $10 on a meal right now, that's the same thing as spending $22 in 10 years if you were to invest that $10 right now and have it grow 8% per year, which is pretty standard for the stock market. Suddenly everything becomes like should I buy it right now or should I hold off and in 10 years I can buy way more? Now at this point, I'm not saying to be 100% frugal because that is definitely not necessary. The one thing you don't want to be is so frugal and so cautious of your spending that you don't spend money on self-improvement and marketing. These are things that you absolutely have to spend money on because the return you get for that is mind-blowing and better than any other type of investment that you can do. So yeah, the takeaway with this point is just have a more frugal mindset, think of money differently, have these perspectives, and it will make the next 5 points a lot easier to implement. Okay, number 2 is to change the way that you grocery shop. And the average person spends about $200 to $400 per month on groceries. If you're able to cut this in half, which I do think is possible for anyone, then you can save $100 to $200 per month, and this really adds up. I personally love grocery shopping. I think of it as a game, and every time I go into a grocery store, I make it my point to spend as little money as I can, but get the most amount of food. Here's some actionable tips that you guys can use to save money at the grocery store. First is before you actually go in, scan over the ads. Many grocery stores will send you a mailer with their ads for the week, and you can take a look at that at home before actually going in. If you don't get their ads in the mail, you can just go to the grocery store, and at the entrance, there should be an ad section. Take one of them and just look through it before you actually enter into the grocery store. This allows you to see what's on sale and what you should prioritize. The thing that I really stress is to only buy things that are on sale. Now, obviously, some grocery stores are different than others. For example, Trader Joe's doesn't have anything on sale. Everything there is its everyday price, so you can't really bargain shop there. Now, for stores like Ralph's or Vons, these stores always have things on sale. And if you shop smart and if you shop right, then everything you need is going to be on sale. The best way to do this is just don't be picky with your brands. For example, if you're trying to buy bread, then look to see which breads are on sale. You don't need to specifically buy one type of bread each and every time. So I will organize things that I need to buy by its category, and for each category, I'll find what's on sale and buy that. It's the same thing as buying proteins. I label that as a category, and then I go to the grocery store and see what meats are on sale, and that's gonna be the meat that I buy. If you do this every time you shop, I guarantee you, you will save a ton of money. You will dramatically cut down your grocery bill, and guys, you will be amazed at how much food you can get for $50. So yes, grocery shopping, that's an easy $100 to $200 savings. per month. Number 3 is to get a roommate. And obviously this only applies if you're living on your own. If you're living at home, then guys, that's amazing. Do that for as long as you can. If you're trying to be cost effective and save money, then splitting rent with someone is probably going to be one of the biggest things you can do to actually cut your expenses. Especially if you are in a high cost of living area, then this effect is magnified. The most expensive way for you to live is to live by yourself in a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment or house. A 2-bedroom with 1 other housemate is way cheaper than living by yourself. A 3-bedroom with 2 other housemates is even cheaper than that, and so on. The more bedrooms there are to share, then the cheaper your rent is going to be. Now, this just really comes down to economies of scale. If you share one big house with many multiple rooms, then you're sharing 1 living area, 1 kitchen, and an extra bedroom only takes up like an extra 150 to 200 square feet. So if you do have friends, if you do want to find roommates, then that is the best way to live by yourself. Another way you can do it is if you have enough money to actually buy a multifamily, then that is another great way to lower your living expenses. What you do when you buy a duplex, triplex, fourplex, or bigger is you live in one of the units and you rent out the other units to tenants. This is a really great way to buy real estate because having those other tenants allows you to actually qualify for more real estate than you would be normally. Lenders will allow you to use between 50 to 75% of the potential rental income as your own income in qualifying for the house. So let's say you're only able to qualify for a $500,000 house by yourself. Well, if you buy like a triplex and have those 2 other rental incomes coming in, then that could mean you could afford a $700,000 place. Yes, the luxury of living by yourself is sometimes a priority for some people, but if you care more about saving money, if you care more about being economical, then having roommates, having housemates, or renting out the other units in your multifamily, that is the cheapest way to live. And since housing is most people's biggest expense, that is dramatically going to decrease your spending and thereby increase your savings. Okay, number 4 on my list is exercising as your hobby. You want to make exercise one of the biggest hobbies in your life. I always post on TikTok saying that exercise will make you a millionaire, and everyone's always like, how is that even possible? The one direct reason I have is that exercising saves you money. But before we get into the money saving qualities of exercise, I want to talk about something that exercise brings, which is even more important than money. When you exercise, this gives you mental and physical powers. You're training yourself to do something that's normally tough, that most people don't like, and that gives you an unfair advantage in life and in business. The mental and physical wellness that you get from exercise is for sure the best part about exercising. But beyond that, exercise helps you save money, and here's why. The thing that a lot of people do when they have more time on their hands is just spend money. Spending money is like a pastime, it's a hobby. And this can come in many forms. It can be going to the stores to buy clothes, it can be online shopping, it can be going to cafes. When you spend $30 per month on a gym membership, this is going to save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month. I guarantee it. You're going to be way less likely to go out and spend money, and soon exercise will be the way for you to actually go out and have fun. Unless you are a hardcore bodybuilder, which will require lots of supplements and food, then working out will save you money. I also like to use working out as networking and just hanging out with friends. A 60-minute to 90-minute gym workout can replace pretty much any social event, and you'll be surprised at how fun it can be and also how rewarding it is. The feeling you get after working out is the reward itself. You feel really accomplished and you feel like you did something good for your body. This also teaches you that you don't need to spend money to feel good. This translates into other parts of your life where if you work hard at something, then this can actually create your own happiness. So guys, if you haven't already, start working out, make it a priority, and I guarantee you this will save you a lot of money. Number 5 is to just stop eating out as much. Cut your outside eating by maybe 50%. The average person spends about $3,000 per year on eating out at restaurants. You probably know this, but you could spend $500 at the grocery store and create $3,000 worth of food. Eating at restaurants is technically a category where you could just cut 90% to 100% of your spending. It truly is an optional expense, and I'm not saying to fully cut out restaurants from your life, but I'm just saying it's not a life or death category of spending. I've been super frugal my entire life, especially with eating. So $15 lunches are completely out of the question. It has to be under $10. And even when I'm spending like $10 on a meal, sometimes I will feel guilty because I think I can make this meal for $2 at home. Now, there will be a time in your life where it's gonna make a lot more sense for you to eat out at restaurants or get takeout or delivery. If you're thinking about it from a money-making standpoint, Yes, cooking takes a long time, and that time could be spent on actually just making more money. But I think that for most people in their 20s, we have a lot of extra time, so that making food doesn't really cut into our productivity, and therefore it still makes a lot of sense to cut your restaurant spending when you're young. Stop buying that $15 avocado toast, those $8 beers, 10 pieces of sushi for $25, and so on. By doing this, you will cut out a huge chunk of your spending, and as a result, you will save a lot more money. And number 6 is to buy a used and reliable car if you do need a car. If you don't need a car specifically, then you can get around just using a bike or a scooter. The average person in the US will spend about $8,000 on their car, gas, insurance, and all these other related expenses. This means that there is a huge savings potential here. If you're trying to save money, then buying a 10-year-old used Honda or Toyota or any other reliable car is probably your smartest bet. I mean, you can still get a very good car for like $5,000, and this is gonna give you so much bang for your buck. For 99% of people, I tell them there's no need for a nice car. It will just simply be a luxury, an unneeded luxury, if you buy a car that's out of your price range. And don't be tricked or trapped into buying these cheap luxury used cars. Yes, you can get a pretty cool BMW or Mercedes for like $10,000 to $15,000, but you need to be aware of the high maintenance costs. For example, my first car was a 2004 BMW 330 convertible, and I love that car, and it was super fun. It was only $9,000, but to be honest, that car only lasted a few years because it needed such heavy maintenance where it just didn't make sense to pour all that money into this car. There is a sweet spot with buying cars. You want to buy a car that's not too old, but that's not too new. Therefore, the previous owner has taken on that huge depreciation hit, and you still have a relatively new car that's running well with good safety and tech features. Or simply, you guys just don't need a car. I mean, I have a lot of friends in their 20s who live in Los Angeles that don't have a car. If you're not going out too much or you have friends with cars, then having cars is not needed. You can Uber, you can Lyft, and I guarantee you that if you're not going out a lot, you'll spend way less money on ride sharing than if you were to have your own car. So yes, since transportation is such a big cost for most people, you can save so much money when it comes to this. So guys, I have to say that there is a lot more to life than money. It's something that we can all chase, but in the end, it won't give us true fulfillment or happiness. Saving money is so important because it teaches you what to prioritize when it comes to your spending. This is a huge part of financial literacy, and financial literacy, to be honest, is one of the most important things that you need to have. It is a crucial life skill that literally anyone can learn. You can literally be 10 years old and start to learn about financial literacy. If you haven't yet, check out the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I honestly think that if you have this viewpoint of money, it's going to shape the way you do business, make money, and save money in the future. So yeah, guys, I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Hope you guys got a ton of value out of it. These are 6 actionable things that you can start doing today, and they will dramatically affect how much money you spend in the next year. Make sure to share this video with a friend, and also like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. I make a ton of videos about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and investing. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.